cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's the number one podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. It's time again.
What up, y'all? You tuned in to the 52 Scott Podcast. This is Music Monday, and I'm your host, Slash. And with me, I got Comedian 96, K Money, Freddie G. Together, we are the Mind of Men. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast. On Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast. All right, welcome back to another edition of Music Monday. Got another great topic for you today, of course. Now, I know just like me, a lot of y'all listeners been following this Diddy case with all of the accusations and, you know, what they was trying to charge him with, RICO charges and stuff like that. And in the beginning, this seemed so unreal, you know, because you like, well, damn, how you gonna hit the man on a RICO charge? You know what I'm saying? From just some of the little stuff, but because he was a business owner, they're trying to say that he was using, you know, the people that work for him to do these criminal deeds or whatever they was trying to, you know, force against him. But man, like I say, when it first started, man, I was like, well, damn, man, Diddy finna get some time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was just looking kind of real strange. Like, damn, man, why they pulled all this up on this dude? And I know it wasn't just me. Everybody was like, ooh, man, the way it made it seem. You know, until the case, you know, goes throughout his, 2-3 months of you know.
Yeah, it was looking bad on the videos they were showing, all the underground tunnels, all that stuff.
There was a lot.
It was bad. Not underground tunnels, but like the baby oil stuff. That's what I say.
Well, I think.
Sorry, the baby oil stuff. I don't know. I got the stories.
You meaning
he getting confused with El Chapo.
Under his house.
Under his house.
The tunnels under his house. Yes, he did have, and that's where some of the freak-offs took place. But again, we only know what the media threw out, you know, and
you know the media go exaggerate, overly exaggerate to make it sound more than what it actually is or could be.
Now, what I don't think they exaggerated on was the amount of bottles of baby oil the man had. I don't think they exaggerated that, man.
Well, no, that wasn't an exaggeration.
That was evidence. You know, that was over 100 bottles of baby oil.
What you doing with all that baby oil?
Whatever.
Yeah.
You know, whatever he was doing with it. But I mean, if they really made him look like this monster, you know, and I mean, they had me for a minute because I was like, damn. But then what really made it look bad was the video. Of course, y'all all seen the video of him and the Cassidy situation near the elevator in the hotel room. That's what really made him look like a monster, you know. And the more that they ran that video, the more you was like, man, this guy is really in trouble. He's really in trouble because they was trying to use that, you know.
And I think that's what the prosecution's I think that's what their plan was, you know, for that video to pretty much depict him as a monster.
Oh yeah, they wanted
because the video had nothing to do really with the case or the charges that he had
at all.
Well, it would be honest, man. The man was a monster, man. I mean, honestly. Now, the video itself, the crime he committed in the video was an assault crime.
Right.
Right? Which the statute of limitation ran out on anyway, so they couldn't charge him with that.
Right.
They just showed this to show that this is the type of person
yeah.
he is. Now, honestly, man, if you saw a total stranger do that to a woman, and that stranger, I mean, that person that was doing that wasn't famous or nothing like that, you would say, man, he didn't have to do that girl like that.
Exactly.
That dude is probably a monster.
Now, he got all that time that Diddy didn't get.
And then
possibly couldn't get.
Well, he wasn't charged with that.
Right, but I'm just saying, you just said a no-name brand person, like somebody with no name.
He wasn't on trial for that. You know, the statute of limitation on that assault that he did with her, that had run out. That's a state charge.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not a federal charge.
Yeah. But like you said, if it's a person with no name, he's probably looked at differently.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of those people that I actually would look at the situation and I'm not gonna only wonder, you know, or not I'm not going to say that he's a monster just because of what he's doing, because I'm going to wonder what caused him to do it.
Right.
Like, what did the person do for him to do this type of shit to
two side.
Yeah, there
to
you
every
go.
story.
Yeah. So I'm gonna think about it that way instead of just automatically saying, yeah, he a monster.
Right.
Well, I get you, K Money. What I'm
Not
saying,
justifying his actions at all.
No, I get you. What I'm saying that when the prosecution put together some things to make him look like a monster, well, that was just one incident. There were several other things that he did.
Right.
And when you look at it all as a whole,
Right.
you were like, damn, this dude here was diabolical.
Yeah.
Come on, man, we're talking about allegedly setting somebody's car on fire.
Right.
We're talking about allegedly throwing a skillet at Cassie's head, a hot skillet at Cassie's head because of the breakfast wasn't done right.
Damn.
Wasn't fixed right. We're talking about allegedly dragging her upstairs on some stuff. And so, another female who went under the pseudonym Jane alleged that her thing will call hotel nights, and which was equivalent to freak offs.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna tell you what got me, because in the thick of this case going on, his bodyguard. And I know y'all probably seen the videos of his bodyguard giving up all the game.
Yeah,
hey, man,
I saw that video.
He threw that dude up under the bus.
Gene Deal?
Yeah. So my thing is this. The time that Diddy may end up getting is not gonna oversee what everybody was thinking. So it won't be long before the man is back out. Now, who's gonna be his bodyguard then? You know what I mean? Because
it definitely won't be Gene.
It won't be this guy. I mean, he threw this man under the bus because he thought the man was gone for a long time.
Yeah, he thought he was that was it. Yeah, he thought it was gonna be like a Suge Knight situation.
Man,
and it didn't happen that way.
And it was other people. Now I'm not gonna say. We know a lot of people didn't step up to Diddy's defense.
Support
all of a sudden. It wasn't nobody supporting him at one while. Until later in this trial, and then you had a couple of people, kind of on his side. One person that I saw that kind of was in defense of Diddy was Kanye West. And what a lot of people don't, when you think of Kanye West, you think of, man, he just crazy, he talking. But the man is really not. I don't think he is. I think he's just a part of a world where he knows the crookedness in it. And he know he's got to play a certain role in order to work around that. So I think him at the end saying, okay, I'm going to support Diddy, was him realizing, you know what, they really ain't got nothing on this man. But he said it before, and just like there's been others, other black men accused of something or criminalized for something that they've done simply because of the fact that they are rich or are famous, So this is just confirmation that that's still going on. There's still a higher position person, even when you have all the wealth and riches that you want or that you can have. There's still somebody else that is trying to not necessarily take your money, because I don't think nobody was trying to take no money from Diddy. I just think that he overstepped the boundary with somebody, and that person was probably like, oh, now we're not going to let you do it like this, because nobody tried to take no money from him. You know what I mean?
I think this case, even though he may be found, even if he gets off, just say he gets no time.
Right.
I think it opens doors for others in the past
to start coming out
civilly. Yeah. I see people already talk. What's the dudes from the Making the Band? Couple of them are trying to get, there. Yeah. So I think it opened doors for people that work with him.
You guys know if any of that footage from Making the Band was used? Because that also could have been helped. I mean, I'm sure that could have helped in regards to, trying to paint that picture.
I don't know, but he was really treating them bad on.
Making
them doing stupid, I ain't gonna say stupid crazy shit, but
he went in.
I love Dave Chappelle reenactment of it. Go get me a sugar cookie.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle went in on the man.
Yeah,
and it was funny.
Yeah, it was.
Now I think Diddy just kind of the anger problem. I think is an issue, especially in business and being professional. You know, it's certain things that you expect from a professional, and I the anger and the yelling and all that's really uncalled for, and it's not professionalism in any field that you're in. It's just, you know, kind of intolerable. Some people are not going to tolerate that. And within his organization, though, he was the man with the money, but still, as a human, you have to still know how to carry yourself in a professional manner, no matter what.
Let me ask you this, though. Put it the other way. Just say he was super nice. Normally, when you're super nice, some people, not all, they be like, he nice, and they won't respect you as much.
Take that kindness for weakness.
Yeah, so if you mean, you ain't finna play with nobody that's mean.
Well, here's the thing, though.
You ain't finna try nobody that's mean.
Well, here's the thing. If you're, would you rather your boss be mean or nice?
I'd rather be nice, because I'm not gonna I'm not gonna try mean or nice.
But you are a regular person that's trying to do right on your job.
Right, exactly.
Now the ones that's not gonna accept him being nice is the ones that's trying to get over. And at that point, he needs to say, you know what, I don't need you on my team.
Yeah.
Whether I'm being, because I am being professional, regardless whether I'm nice, I'm professional first.
Yeah.
And that's what'll take you over the top with your employees. See, I think Diddy just has this, I'm an upset person, everything got to go my way. And because you have that type of money, this is probably the mind state.
Exactly. I totally agree with that 100%.
Gotcha.
But you still have to be a professional in any industry, you know. So
but it takes shit like this here to happen for somebody to come back down.
Yeah, you're right.
Because he had that mentality, but now I'm sure he's humbled himself tremendously.
He had to, especially sitting in that courtroom. And you can imagine how long he's been a hot-headed guy for years. Right. Since he's been in the industry, it's always been stuff happening, and it's been a lot of accusations where people that work for him say, hey, he's got this attitude, he's really rude, he's mean. But think about this, too. He is from the East Coast. A lot of people from the East Coast are arrogant.
Arrogant and mean.
That is the culture, pretty much.
Aggressive.
Yeah.
Aggressive on that side. I mean, I've witnessed people, but they know how to handle each other out there.
Yeah.
You know, but when you start mixing people and you trying to bring people over state lines, it's a different culture.
It's a different culture, yeah.
And see, regardless, the two charges that they did get him on was for, you know, bringing trafficking prostitution across state lines is what they're charging him. He gets 2 counts of that, you know. And hopefully, man, I mean, his sentencing is not too bad, because he's set to be sentenced in October 3rd of this year, later this year. And hopefully it goes right. But he's looking at anywhere, it just depends on what these people want to give him. It could be 4 months or 21 to 27 months, which is about 2 years. This is one side of it. But both sides are trying to come up with a perfect.
Here's the thing, man. So I want to address that, but I want to go back to something y'all said, man, about the East Coast and, you know, professionalism. Man, the way you treat people, sometimes that's learned behavior. It's kind of, look at it this way. Look at it like sports, right? In the music industry, but look at it like sports.
Right.
Man, you got a bunch of old school football coaches that will make you practice back in the day for a whole hour straight and run and don't give you no water. You got to earn your water, your water break, right?
Yeah.
So think about that player that played for that particular coach, right? Now that player played however many years he played, and now that player becomes a coach.
Yeah.
That learned behavior that he learned from his coach, he's probably going to bring that old school mentality to his team now. Which you can't do that.
No.
You can't do that because times are different.
Changing.
So when I say learn behavior, you know, Diddy started at Uptown.
Right.
Under Andre Harrell, not accusing Andre Harrell of being a certain way, whatever the case may be, but I do know that Diddy, at some point in his career, he was an intern.
He was an intern.
And he was a gopher.
Yeah.
And he had to go and run and go get.
And they treated him
stuff. He had to go wash cars.
That's what made him.
He had to go do it. So he was treated in such a almost like a hazing, right?
Yeah.
So now you get this TV show, Making the Band, and you treat them in such a way. Oh, now I remember when I used to have to be able to control my breathing on the mic.
Right.
I used to have to run on the treadmill and hold a microphone or something,
Right.
and sing the song.
Right.
So some of that stuff is learned behavior, man. Now, in regards to how much time he's going to get in federal court, what you can't do is go outside of the sentencing guideline.
Right.
You have a sentencing guideline that the judge must follow.
Yeah.
Keyword must. Now, the judge can downward departure on sentencing, on your sentencing,
Right.
but it has to be, the right circumstances to downward depart.
Within means of what the court says.
Now, Diddy will not get a 3-point reduction for accepting responsibility because he went to trial. He did not accept the responsibility. So that downward departure of a 3-point deduction on his scale, he's not going to get that. Now, with that being said, the 2 charges that he was charged of, which were the minor of all of the charges,
Right.
whatever those sentencing guidelines carry, the judge got to stay within there. Now, y'all got to keep in mind, Diddy been locked up for almost a year. He been locked up for about 300 days. So that time is going to count.
Time served. Right.
That time, well, only if it's within the sentencing guideline.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Now, if, let's say, they give him 24 months, right? Well, the judge can say, I sentenced you to 24 months. You've been incarcerated
For a year.
for 12 months. So I'm going to put your your other 12 months on house arrest. That's still a form of incarceration.
Yeah.
So it all depends of what the sentencing guideline carry.
Yeah.
But if he get anything 5 years or less, that's a win for him.
Exactly.
And that's what it says. The prosecutors are seeking, 5 years, while Combs' attorneys are trying to get anywhere from 21 to 27 months.
So the prosecutors wanting to give him 5 years, 4 to 5, but his team is saying, "No, we only gonna do 2." But with what his team is saying, man, that's what I said. I say, just kind of like what you just said, Freddie G. The man gonna get a year that's time served, and he probably gonna get house arrest. I don't know, but I'm thinking that's probably the way that's gonna go.
Let me say this. So here's something to think about, right? Here's something to think about. Martha Stewart.
Oh yeah.
Martha Stewart. Yeah. She actually went to a federal camp.
She should.
She went to prison. Little Kim. She also went to prison. And several other.
Hell, T.I. went to prison.
Yeah, T.I. went to prison.
And got house arrest.
Yep.
The Brat. Yeah.
Yep. So all of these. So I don't think that he's above going to prison.
Nobody is.
Hell, R. Kelly's in prison.
Yeah.
So he may not be unscathed when it comes to the actual sentencing of, okay, you've already done 12 months,
right?
But you still gonna have to go to the BOP, the Bureau of Prisons.
Now this is the bad thing too, because at the same time they can take in consideration the nature of his offenses, even with his personal characteristics being included in that. So the judge can say, okay, your team want to give you 2 years, the prosecution saying 4 to 5. I'm gonna give you 3.
Yep.
Because I'm taking in consideration your offenses, what you in here for, and the way you act towards those other people. You just never. Plus, he's got a criminal history. He's not just. He's not a criminal. I mean, he's not a person that doesn't have a criminal history already. And it's been so many things surrounding his name, in a lot of stuff. I think, depending on the judge, the judge is probably gonna say, "Yeah, I'm gonna try to
somewhere in the middle,
meet y'all in the middle." Yeah, which is fair.
Yeah,
I think that's fair. And again, whatever the time is, I mean, Diddy should be happy, thanking God.
So let me show you something. If the prosecutor is saying 5 years, if the prosecutor is saying 5 years, that tells me that that's the high end on the sentencing guideline.
Right.
Because remember, I told you that the judge cannot go outside of the sentencing guideline.
Right.
So if the prosecution is saying, give him 60 months,
Right.
that tells me that's the high end.
Mm-hmm.
And if the actual defense team is saying 24 months, that's them saying, okay, we're not trying to make him go on the low end. Let's meet somewhere in the middle with the 24 months. So we're not saying that he's going to get the low end, which is 0 or whatever. The defense is saying, hey, let's try to meet y'all in the middle. Let's say 24 months.
Right.
So that's kind of meeting them in the middle already.
I hope it works out for him. I don't think he's in the music industry as much, because at one point he did give back the publishing to the artists who he took the publishing from. So I'm guessing he's trying to make that right. And my only thing with that is, look how many years you've taken from him, you know, and then now you give back. If that's your way to make things right, I can't knock that. You know, I just want to say, man, you know, anybody that's in the entertainment world as a black person, no matter how good you are, you know, you're never above anybody. Just stay humble. Watch how you treat people, because that's a very important task in life, and that's for everybody. That's not just a person of entertainment. That's for every human being on this earth. Respect everybody. Those that don't respect you, you don't have to be around them, but respect everybody that you come in contact with. You know, the world will be a better place. Y'all come back tomorrow. Check us out. So that's all, y'all, for this edition of Music Monday. Thanks for tuning in. Come back tomorrow and check out True Tuesday with K Money. Hit that like button, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram and Facebook, D52 Scott Podcast. Follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast.